Shalom to the nation of Israel. This is Bar Rizal coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the whole full life, pushing his word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is pertaining to martial law because we've already been feeling the effects of it, a mild version. But it's going to get more serious, right? Especially what's going on in Ottawa with the truckers. And I think the same thing's happening in Toronto. Like they had it over the weekend, but I'm not sure if that's still going on. But I know in Ottawa it's still going on, right? And this stuff that's happening is going to initiate like a protocol that they have, which eventually they're going to initiate martial law, right? Because now they got the police out there basically taking away the resources of the truckers, right? Now eventually they're going to bring SWAT in because, Trudeau made his statement about how, this is a peaceful country. The protesters are allowed to protest, but then he contradicts himself in the same statement and saying about you can't be putting the economy on lockdown. When the whole joke, the hypocrisy of it is that he did the exact same thing. He put the whole country on lockdown and cut off resources. So it's just really funny. But the point is that all this stuff is going to lead to the real martial law, right? So the word martial, because martial law is a compound word, or it's really two words. Martial means warlike or pertaining to war, right? Hence why they have that Roman god named Mars. The sense of connected with military organizations, right? It has everything to do with war, right? It says like adjective of or relating to armed forces, martial law. The person is befitting of a warrior, suggested war or military life, right? So, it's everything that has to do with war. So, when you go to the martial law, the word law, just go into the word law just to, fully understand. The word law, ordinance, rule prescribed by authority, regulation. So, it's basically war rules, right? War regulations. Right? It also says, sometimes, right, legal privilege, right? So they're going to have war rules that are going to dictate your privileges that you have, right? What you can do, what you can't do. Because in some countries, when they actually go to war, that people that actually experience war, those citizens, martial law happens because people have to be on certain lockdowns. They can't be out and about because the enemy is in the midst. Right? You can't be out in the streets when the enemy's in the midst. But that's what happened here. So you're thinking, what enemy is in the midst of this great Babylonian city or country that's going to cause martial law? Well, it's happening right now, right? That's why they have this separation, right? The ones that have taken the booster juice, right? Or the ones that haven't taken the beetle juice, right? And the ones that haven't taken it are causing, they're the enemy to the state. So now they're going to eventually, if this continues, and it will happen, whether this stops or it continues, another thing's going to pop up. It's going to lead to martial law, right? So now it's war against the enemy who is against the state, right? Whether it's the truckers, whether it eventually is going to be the elect, right? So people need to understand that's what's coming, whether they want to accept it or not. So 2 Ezra 16 and 46, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children, right? And that's going to happen. They're going to just come in and bust into your house and take your kids, take your wife, separate the whole families, put them in concentration camps, right? Some of these soldiers, if you see you got some nice stuff, they're going to drink your wine, drink your alcohol, eat your food, take it with them. Because that's booty. Because it's war. Because now we're in martial law. So they can come in and bust into places and take things. Just like they would if they were invading another country. But it's going to be within their own soil. So it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Because that's what you do when you go to war. And you kill all the men, whatever. And then you take the women. You take the kids. You take their food. You eat their food. You take their gold and silver. You take all their stuff. Right? And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, The more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, just said that, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord. Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman. Right? That's how angry the Most High is going to be. So now we're going to go to Isaiah 13 and 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Yeah, so kids are going to die, right? And a lot of women are going to be raped, right? That's what's going to happen. Just going to take them by force because you're going to probably most likely either going to kill the man or subdue him, like, you know, lock him up, like put him in handcuffs, take him out of the room, and then rape the wife because it's war. It's the same thing they do in war back in ancient times or even these times when they go to different countries. They invade the land, they kill, either they subdue the men or they kill them, and they take the children, and then the woman there, if the woman looks good, they rape them. That's what happens. The same thing. Nothing new is under the sun. The same thing they did in the ancient times, they're doing it right now in the present times. So when you're thinking about all these soldiers that go to war, that they're so great and they don't commit any crime, they're committing crimes over there. Man, they're raping women, they're killing kids, they're doing all this stuff. So the same things that happen here, but when martial law happens, now it's basically war on your own land, right? So that's why they're going to bring in the army. So they're going to be busting you through doors and doing all that stuff. That's why scriptures also referred to Esau, his army, his hand, his sword, as a flood. When he coming through like a flood, because armies are trained like that, like SWAT army, when they're trained to come in quick. It's like 1, 2, 3, and they just bust in from all angles, and you're done. You can't run, you can't hide, you're finished. That's why you need the Most High to intervene. That's why he's going to raise up a standard, right? So now we're going to go back to 2nd Ezra 16. We're going to go to 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, right? So some of you are getting taken. You're going to be put in those concentration camps. Some of you are not going to die. Some of you are going to be put in the camps, and they're going to try you even more, right? And that wrath that's burning with Esau, that's coming after Israel, it's from the Most High. That's the Most High's wrath, right? Because he's angry. He had enough. So he's sending his sword to come and deal with his children, his disobedient children. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Exactly. For there shall be in every place in slack. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And those that fear the Lord are the Israelites, right? They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Right? So nobody's going to be spared. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Exactly. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as a gold in the fire. Right? And that's the elect. Right? Hear, O ye, my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So that's Jacob's trouble. That's the peak of Jacob's trouble. That's real Jacob's trouble. We're still in it, but that's when it's going to be like, this is Jacob's trouble. Like, things are going to be so, like, messed up. Right? But ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Right? So that's going to be the peak of Jacob's trouble, because we're already in Jacob's trouble. Things already happened to the Israelites. But that's when it hits its climax. Okay. Now we're going to go to... There we go. Nahum 2 and 9. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store, and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. So, like, blackness, they're going to be in that state of, like, there's woes. Like, woe is me. Like, woe is me. It's gonna be so like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's gonna be like if you watch the Holocaust and you see how those Edomites were going through it, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that, but worse, right? They're gonna be taking their gold and silver, right? And even those times, even if you have a gold and silver, you won't be able to really stop the soldiers, like, because they're on a mission. They're gonna take your gold and silver anyway. So if you try to give them your gold and silver to say like, "Oh, spare my life," blah 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 blah, they're like, well, "I'm taking this anyways." So like, you're not gonna be able to stop them from doing what they have to do. Only Yahweh Shem Shai can stop them and put up a standard, right? So there'd be no mirth in the land when this is happening. It hasn't happened yet. People, you can still go outside. You can go buy food. You can still do those things. It's gonna look like Nazi Germany, but worse. It's gonna be Nazi Germany on steroids. You know, Luke 21:26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right? And that's, for example, like martial law. They're going to, like, men are going to bug out. They're going to bug out. They're going to start grabbing guns. They're going to start, if they have bunkers or whatever, going to hiding. They're going to think they can fight the government, right? At the same time, some are going to, like, bug out and they're going to be afraid. Some are going to have heart attacks because the way people are going to be dying, because people are going to be dying too. Like, yeah, people are going to be put in concentration camps, but a lot of people are going to be dying, getting shot in the streets, like broad daylight. They might just come in your house and shoot one of your siblings. A lot of shit's going to happen, right? That's one way of talking about it. And then on top of it is when the chariots come. When you see the chariots in the sky, they're going to have heart attacks. They're going to have heart attacks. Okay? When you see the missiles coming, they're going to have heart attacks. Right? That's what it says, men's hearts failing them for fear. Because when you see the chariots, they're going to be afraid. When you see the martial laws starting to happen, they're going to be afraid. They're going to have heart attacks. Right, so it goes into two things with that. So now we're going to Isaiah. But the point is that it's not going to be a joke. It's not going to be like any of the lockdowns we went through. This is going to be serious. In their streets they shall gird themselves with sackcloth on the tops of their houses, and in their streets everyone shall howl, weeping abundantly. Right, so people are going to be mourning. Mourning, woe is me, woe is me. Right? But it's like, hey, you all had a chance. You all had a chance to turn to Yahweh Shem Shai, and you chose not to, right? Because you weren't one of the sheep. And those times they're going to call on the Lord, and he's going to hide his face. That's what it says, seek him when he may be found. Right now he can be found, but that door's closing. Isaiah 9:19. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Right? And it's going to be darkened. We read in another scripture where it said they're going to be blackened. Their face is going to be blackened. So the same thing. Right? They're going to be in that dark, dark state. There's going to be no mirth in the land. Right? And the people shall be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brothers. So people are going to be invading each other, killing each other. Right? It's going to be serious. Right? Then you have the missiles coming. Next after that, they're going to burn up with those missiles. Right? Because maybe, on top of it, let's say martial law happens, whatever that's happening. And then you get those sirens saying, you are on your alert on your phone that ICBM missiles are in the air and they're going to hit. So people are going to be bugging out even more. So people are going to be killing each other. Like, they're not going to care at all. That's when you really see these demons come out. They're going to jump on people. So it's going to be mayhem. Right? But it's going to start with the martial law first before it gets to that point. Right? So, like, on top of it, martial law happens. People are going to be invading each other's houses. taking goods because they're trying to escape, they're trying to run, they're trying to hide. So the purge, like you see in those movies, it's going to be like that, but worse. We're not going to be able to. Movies try to paint a picture of how it's going to be in real life, but they can only go as far as they can imagine, right? When it really happens, that's when you're going to see. Because I said, men's hearts are going to fail them. When they see the stuff that's going to be happening, their hearts are going to, people are going to have heart attacks. That's how serious it's going to be. People are going to get chopped up in the streets. Women are going to be getting raped. Kids are going to be trodden on the foot. Right? And the only way you're saved is through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you don't have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in your corner, if he's not backing you, you are screwed. Right? You're just screwed. You don't have any other chance. You're not going to make it. Ezekiel 7 and 17. All hands should be feeble and all knees shall be weak as water. Sheesh. That's how weak people are going to be in that weak state, because like they're going to be freaking out. They're going to be panicking. They're going to be freezing. Right. They should also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. Yeah. So it's going to be serious, man. It's going to be very, very serious. People are going to be bugging out. They're just going to be bugging out. It's just going to be bugging out. That's the best way to explain it. They're just going to be bugging out. So many things are going to be coming at them. They're just going to be bugging out. Isaiah 13 and 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. There you go. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Right? Hence why you see always refers to as fire, flames, fuel for the fire. Because at the end, all these people are going to get burned up with its ICBM missiles and then the lasers from the chariots. But see, it's going to be a step-by-step process. You're going to have the Kragma to come out. Then you get into martial law, right? A lot of things have to happen before we get to the point of the ICBM missiles. But even before those things happen, things are going to get crazy, man. People are going to be bugging out. Because it's a sifting process in a sense. Whoever makes it to the end, those are going to be the Most High's elect, right? But through that process, people are going to die. Because when you're sifting gold to the sieve, a lot of the impure stuff falls through and it gets thrown away, right? That's the same thing with people that are getting thrusted through, right? Through this sifting process. They're either gonna die, they're gonna have heart attacks, they're gonna get sick and die, they're gonna die, they're gonna get chopped up, whatever. They're just gonna die, right? The elect are the ones that are gonna make it through, and some of the elect are gonna die, but they're not gonna take the chip. So that's the main point. So it's just a sifting process. The Most High is just sifting. And some are gonna make it to the end. You might think they're part of the elect, but then they're gonna burned up by the missiles. If they make it past the missiles, they're getting burned up by the lasers from the chariots. Right? So you want to be able to make it to the end. Whether you die and you get beamed up because you didn't take the mark, because none of the elect are going to take the mark anyways, or you make it to the end and Most High saves you at the last second. Right? Because it says the elect are going to be scarcely saved. Right? We got one more, because I have a lot of precepts, so I might have to do a 2-part video. Because what's happening in Ottawa is gonna be interesting to see what comes out of that. Because now it's getting serious now. Jeremiah 30 and 3. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. Right? So we're gonna go back to Israel. Right? But we had to go in captivity first. Right? But now we're at the end part of that. So we're going to go back and get our land and be back on top. But we just have to go through a little bit. The furnace has to get a little hotter before that can happen. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see it whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, right? Because men are going to be, like it said, you read it, men's hearts are going to be failing them, right? They're going to be acting like women. They're going to be bugging out. And men are going to be acting like that. What do you think the women are going to be doing? You know? So these women, they're acting all prideful, and they think that, the whole feminism, whatever, I think they can do whatever. They have the strength of a man. They can do whatever a man can do. They're not going to be able to do. They're going to be bugging out, man. They're going to be bugging out. And that's why the scriptures also say, I think, I'm not sure if it says elect, but I can roughly paraphrase it, but the man of the Lord is going to be as the gold of Ophir, roughly paraphrasing, right? Because that's that's what their worth is going to be. That's how valued they're going to be, because they're going to be calm. That's why it says knowledge and wisdom shall be still be of the times, and the fear of the Lord his treasure. Because they fear the Lord, so they're going to have the knowledge and wisdom, which is going to keep them stable, right? They're going to be stable. They're going to be grounded. They're not going to be bugging out. They're going to be actually going to be clapping and laughing. They're going to be saying, Kal halal Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, because we're almost out of here. But those men of the world are going to be bugging out. They're going to be acting like women. So the women are going to see that, and they're going to see these different men, these elect men that are calm. They're going to run to them. That's why the scriptures also say 7 shall come past 1. Because women are going to be clinging on to the men of the Lord, because they know that's their salvation. Because they know what's going on. They're calm. They obviously know what's going on. So that's the power, because they're calm. And they're calm in chaos, right? Okay, so verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, who I will raise up unto them, which is why David's going to serve right under Yahushai, right? Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, or O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So then we're going to be in the kingdom, man. Everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be good. We're going to wake up like, oh, man, I can't believe we went through that shit. Wow, it feels like a dream. They're going to be in your bodies, incorruptible bodies. You're going to be able to fly. You're going to be able to, oh, man. You're going to have everything. You're going to have wealth. You're going to have your women. You're going to be able, you're not going to be stressed out having kids. You're not going to be, you can sleep with one of your wives, and then she tells you she's pregnant, and you're not going to be bugging out like, oh, man, you're going to be happy. You can even get your brothers. You guys are going to maybe have a little party, drink, It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. We just have to go through this little, what's it called? We have to go through a little heat, right? It's going to get hot. We're going to get hot. But we got to cling on to the Lord, right? That's why you got to cling on to Yahweh Shem Shai. Cling on to Yahweh Shem Shai will be good, right? It'll be good. And it's not going to be easy, of course. It's simple, but not easy, right? Because we're still in the flesh. We got to fight these demons and things around us. But the point is, just stay in the scriptures, keep studying, keep praying, fasting. If you have to fast, go on a fast, and just keep doing what you possibly can do to the best of your ability. Because Yahweh Shem Shai is watching you, right? He knows what you're capable of doing. So you have to be aware of what you're capable of doing. So you can meet your potential, and even go past it if you can, right? Anyways, I hope that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. Shalom.